Hello, AP Stats students of Mr. Hughes's class, or possibly Mr. Coach Beal's class from the 2024-2025 school year. My name is Mr. Hughes, or Dave Hughes, if for some of the parents might be watching this as well. Anyway, I'm making this intro video. I will unfortunately be missing the entire first week of school. My oldest daughter is starting college in the University of Virginia Commonwealth, or VCU. It's a 2-day drive, and then we got to get her situated. We are flying back. We're renting a car and flying back. Otherwise, I was going to miss a couple days of the second week as well. So I did what I could, but I'm going to be honest with you that making sure my daughter's taken care of and ready to go and establish at school is there's not really much more important to me right now. So it is unfortunate. I can tell you right now, it's without a doubt the easiest week of curriculum. So as far as the material you'll have to learn while I'm not there, it is not going to be a problem. Also, I have a contingency plan in place that if everything goes horribly, like nothing gets done, I will take care of it. We don't want that, because we want as many days. I mean, we have so many days to get everything done. We don't want to waste any days. But I just want to assure any of the parents or students that, whenever it's my personal business that keeps me from school, I will promise that I'll always do right by everybody in my classroom. So I'd just like to put that to ease. Just a couple things about myself really quick. This is my 27th year teaching, which makes me feel really old. Several of my teachers that I'm working with right now, I'd been teaching for 15 years well, anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that. It's very depressing, but it is starting to catch up to me. This is my 11th year at Independence. I've been here since the school opened. I have quite a fond place in my heart for Independence. We put in a lot of work to make this school built up from the ground up. So I have 3 daughters, which I got a freshman in college, like I said. I have a junior who's taking this class, I might add. And then I have a freshman. My youngest is a freshman starting at Independence. That's pretty much been my life for the last 18 years. Haven't regretted a single minute of it. And now they're getting a little older, and don't worry about spending too much time with dad anymore, but that's the way it works, as long as as long as things are going well. I enjoy outdoor stuff. I really like getting on the river and paddling down and finding a random place in the middle of nowhere to camp and set up, and that's about as much fun as I could have on a weekend, is getting on the river and paddling down the river and camping. So just other camping, hikes. I love national parks. If any of you want to get me going on something that's probably one of the things that can get me off task pretty easily. I'm just going to cut that off there. We'll get to know each other a lot more throughout the year, and you'll know a lot more about me, I promise. So AP Statistics. AP Statistics is a little bit different of a class. It is qualified as a math class, but there's not a lot of math. It's technical writing. And you're going to have to, some of you are going to get on board with that immediately, and some of you are going to drag your feet for a while. We kind of have a system in place, and it's very successful. And some of you will get there faster than others. But technical writing, basically, the nuts and bolts of it is that there's write-ups. You plug numbers into it, you plug information in a calculator, it gives you a number, but then you have to write what that number means. And the biggest stickler is that there's some language. You have to use particular language. We'll have one in the first unit. You have to say association instead of relationship. They don't take relationship, they want association. We can have an argument all day long on how important it is to use one word or the other, but it just doesn't matter, because that's what College Board wants. They make the rules, I write the plays, you run the plays. Another thing I like to explain is write-ups. The write-ups work like this. The first time you do a write-up by yourself, I mean, not when you're copying it down, but like you just do it by yourself without any prompts, it is not good. Your write-up will not be good. The third time you do them, it looks like a write-up. It sounds like a write-up, but I can assure you I can find something that College Board doesn't like, because it's so detail-oriented. The fifth time and every time after that, you just write the answer down correctly, and that's it. And people don't believe me, but I'm telling you, that's how it goes. So when somebody turns in a test and that's the first time they've done it by themselves, it's really obvious because it's a mess. And if you've done some work but not enough, you have a nice write-up, but I can still find some stuff that, College Board will take off. And all my grading is strictly done by what the College Board wants. I have no personal stake in any of this for how it's graded, except to get us ready for that AP exam. All right, I have what I call my hidden agenda. I have 2 points of my hidden agenda. The first one is to get you, not me, you the best grade that you could possibly get on that AP Stats test. Some of you need a 5 for a particular credit. Some of you just need to get a 3 so you don't have to take math in college. Okay, whatever you need, I am going to do everything I can to get you the best grade that you can possibly get for you. Now, I'll talk about rates and grades and what, and I like to brag because we have a very successful program here at AP Stats and Independence, but I can assure you that's mostly just talk. The only thing that really matters in that regard is that you get the best score for your goals, for your college career, whatever, get your parents off your back, whatever it is, what you need, I am going to maximize that score for you. Okay, and then my second thing is that I'm going to do what I can to prepare you for college. So some of that has to do with the retesting. I'll just go ahead and say, if I were you, I would plan to not retest very much in this class. And we'll get into that more later. But if, when you go to college, you're not going to get that. And this is kind of a bridge course. It's an AP course. It's done in high school with a high school teacher, but it's college credit. All right. And I wouldn't feel like I was doing my job if I just made it super easy. So just plan on getting your stuff done on time. And here, for example, one of the things that I do is before we take the test, I'll tell you what's on the test. I'll just tell you what's on the test. The first reason I did that was all my 4B students always knew what was on the test and my 1A students didn't. And their grades were way lower. So to fix that, I just told everybody who's on the test. Now everybody knows what's going to be on the test. Okay, I ain't going to tell you what's on the retest at all. And there'll be lots of different forms of the retest, because the idea is you've proved mastery. Mastery doesn't mean you just skirted by. It means that you caught up from your mistakes and you figured it all out. That's mastery. So you don't get that if I kind of, leak out what's on the test ahead of time. All right, enough of that. But again, I've 2 things. I will mention this so often that I don't think you're going to forget it for several years after you leave my classroom. Get you the best grade for you, not for me. I'm really under no pressure to get grades from anybody else but myself. And again, I just want you to get the grade that you deserve and to get your goals done. And 2 is I'm going to get you ready for college whether you want it or not. That's it. All right, calculators. We have graphing calculators here. I'm going to go show them to you here in just a second. From this year, when we take tests, you're going to need to use my calculators that have been reset. That's just, we had a problem, and that's going to have to be the reaction. All right, so with calculators, and I'm going to walk over here. What you're going to do every day when you walk in, so there's the door, and then here's the graphing calculators. They're by number, and I'm going to show you over here each one of my classes. I'm just going to go ahead and show this 1A class. Let's just Samir Dutta. So number 7. So what you will do is you will come in here to spot 7 and you'll take this calculator out and put your cell phone in every day. While I'm gone and until I learn names, which unfortunately I'm getting old and that's a lot of names on that board and that's awesome. It makes me very pleased. That's how I'm going to take attendance. If you don't have a cell phone, you'll need to let me know every day. If you tell me you don't have a cell phone and then your phone rings, then that's going to irritate me. I will give you time with your phones when we have time for phones. When it's time for business, put your phones up and let's get to business. The faster we get to business, the more time you get for your phone. So let's just be cooperative there. And also, if you think you're the only person, or if you think you're sneaking us with putting up burner phones up there, again, just don't get caught. Don't get caught. Okay. Next, the test. Our tests are 50% multiple choice and the AP exam is 50% multiple choice and 50% FRQ. So every time we have a test, I give 2 separate tests. They're 2 separate grades. That way, if for whatever reason, if you just totally blow it on a couple write-ups, but you were ready for the multiple choice, I don't need you to make up the multiple choice. It just works out way better. It's a 50-50 split, just like the AP exam, and makes everybody, including myself, happy. Also, we're going to be, last year I got access to several released AP exams. They're secured, so when we do that, it'll be in class and I'll be hawking over you, and it'll be only open for a set amount of time, but it made a huge difference. Also, I'm gonna try to give more multiple choice during review days. In the past, we've kind of just let that slide, but we always did really good on multiple choice. But the last couple of years, we've been trying to raise up that grade. Next, cheating. All right, cheating. I've been told that I'm a psychopath when it comes to cheating. I don't know about that. Again, if you cheat on my tests, you're not going to do well on your AP exam. And agenda point 1 is to get you the best score on your exam as possible. Okay, that's my job, is to get your AP score. Your job, or your student's job is to get the hack score that's going to keep the student or the parents happy. All right, and I get it, and there's a lot of pressure. Really, I get it. Okay, sometimes I take myself a little too seriously. But I don't know what's going on at home. I don't know what the deal is, but we cannot cheat on these tests. Last year, I made all new multiple choice tests, and I had it pretty locked down. I probably changed some of those, but not a ton. Maybe do some, probably put in my time to make B-Day forms and switch them back and forth. And the FRQ tests are almost brand new every year. That's one advantage / disadvantage of having a teacher that's now been teaching this class for 11 years is I can come up with questions all day long. I don't like typing them up, and I don't like printing out new stuff all the time, but that's what I have to do to combat cheating. 2 years ago, up until last year, I'd always kind of not worried about the cheating so much, although I imagine those students don't think that, but because my cheaters typically got 3s. And so it was kind of hard to make a big deal about it. 2 years ago, all my cheaters failed the test. I mean, all of them. So I could not sit back idly anymore. So I redid a bunch of tests, put a lot of time and effort into them. And we'd always done good on the FRQ because I make those new pretty much for the last 5 years. But anyway, I'm going to do everything I can to make cheating harder. Different tests for A day and B day. Sometimes B day will have 2 different versions of the test. Sometimes I go and take an old test and I change a couple of the numbers in the questions so that it's a different multiple choice answer, but the multiple choice selections stay the same. Okay? Now, when it happens and I catch you, it's because I have the proof. Like, you'll have the answer to Form B on Form A or something like that. And I can assure you, whether I like having you in class, whether you irritate me daily or anything in between, I will turn you in, not to be a jerk, because we need to end that behavior. I'm going to stop talking about cheating now. Trust me, you'll be hearing plenty more about that as we go. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to do before I end this video is, I guess, 2 things. One is this first week of school is going to be weird. I'm probably going to, I'm saying probably, like I haven't planned this. Sorry. On that first week of school, so if you have A day, you're going to have 3 classes. B day is going to have 2 classes I'm going to be here for. I'm probably going to have the sub, again, I say probably, I'm going to have the sub let you have your phones. And I'm going to have you get on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to have you, go through it and find where the playlists are, find where the notes are. I am going to have you still do the notes. Like I said, it's really easy material. And then we still have a full week of when I'm back before we have the tests. So it's just not going to be that big of a deal. And again, because it's my personal business that's causing problems, I always tell the students, I will make it right by you in the end. If that means I have to grease the grades up a little bit because of a mistake or something that happened with my family, that's fine. Okay, as long as we're staying on track and getting you that best score on the AP exam as possible. See, I've already said that like 5 times in the intro video. Yeah, that's really important to me. But we'll be fine. Again, it's really, this is really weird missing the first week of school, but we're going to get through it. And again, if parents are concerned, I would be concerned too. I am giving you my promise that it will be okay. It'll be okay, I promise. All right. In class. Oh, wait, 2 things. I guess I said 3 things. So last year, after I was redoing everything, I made 3 goals. One is an easy goal to obtain. That was 100 kids passing the test, which that had never happened in Frisco ever, but that's how confident I was that we were going to blow that away. I think we set the record the year before with 77. So I said 100 is going to be the goal that I know we're going to make no problem. The next goal I had was to have the highest percentage of 5s ever. And that's a goal that, it was going to take some doing, but I should be able to get it. And then the goal that was unreasonable was to get 150 students to pass the exam. So we had 188 take the tests, and we had 149 pass the test, which is ridiculously high. I'm actually have multiple people pushing to see if I can prove that is the most in the state of Texas last year. I am 100% confident that it is, but I would like to see, I would like there to be proof on paper to say, but there's no public school. There's no public school that had 149 kids pass the AP Stats test in the state of Texas. I doubt ever, but that's what we're about here at Independence. And it's not just anything. There's a lot of things that go into it. I have awesome kids. I put a lot of time into this program, and I think you'll like being in my class. Students mostly like being in my class. They like me. They like the way I interact with them. Try not to take anything too seriously. You probably know this. That's probably why you're in my class. And again, a lot of students take this class to avoid pre-cal and to get their college math credit, and they don't have to take math in college. And I got kids that know that they'll get a 5 as long as they come in and do what Mr. Hughes asked them to do. I got the most amazing group of kids. And again, we've done a lot. Not every class in this school is that successful, but AP Stats is. Okay, last thing, and this is a big one. The only thing besides cheating that you can do to irritate me in classroom is to bring hot food or pungent food or smelly food or whatever you want to call it. Okay, it will be met with instant irritation and hostility every time. And let me explain myself. If a student is in my classroom and they are hungry, which happens all the time, and I don't want to hear about how people here have enough money for food. There's a lot of different reasons why students don't have food in the morning, or myself or anybody. You could have just woke up too late. It doesn't matter. If you are hungry and you are sitting in a classroom and somebody brings in fried deliciousness, you are not learning about stats that day. The only thing you can think about is Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or whatever it is, okay? It completely distracts from the learning process in the room. I have no patience for it, but students constantly bring food into my room. It'll take a while, and again, I'm coming straight at you if you do that. And I say hot food because that's like, people bring in, especially second period, upperclassmen come in late with their breakfast from it's almost always Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or whatever, leave it out of my room. Eat it and then come in and just take your tardy. If you bring it into my room, I will remove you from the classroom to not bring that stuff back. You're not going to throw it away in my trash can, because if you bring in Chick-fil-A second period and throw it in the trash, it smells like moldy fast food and it smells horrible by the end. It smells bad, smells good. Nobody's learning if they're hungry or just they got a sensitive nose. And again, no food in my classroom. You can have a dry food or a snack or something that doesn't smell. That's fine. I welcome it. It's great, especially if it's going to help you concentrate more or keep you from being hungry so you can concentrate. And again, I've kind of been going. I'm just looking. I'm going to go on about this for about 2 minutes. So hopefully you're seeing I'm very I'm just serious about this. But I'm sorry. So I'll remove you from the classroom. You'll have to leave to go eat your food elsewhere, throw it away elsewhere, and then come back to class and you'll be tardy. So you have to go get a tardy pass, and then you miss out on 5 to 10 minutes of class, and that doesn't help us accomplish our goals at all. Anyway, I'm getting very close to 20 minutes. I said I would not go over 20 minutes, so welcome to AP Stats. I will see you on the second week of school. I call this my dojo. We are statistical ninjas. We dominate the test like no other school in the state of Texas ever has, or ever does, or ever will. We are clearly number one, and I am going to keep it that way. I promise. See you on the second week of school.